Caleb.
Hello, A Day with Caleb here, and today, if you couldn't tell already, we are going to be doing celebrities that I have met. I should put an asterisk by that, met or seen. Then I met some Face Off contestants. Face Off is a reality show where they do makeup and special effects show, one of my favorite shows because it deals with makeup and prosthetics, and I love Lon Chaney Jr. and kind of how he could make his face into any face imaginable, the man of 1,000 faces. So love watching Face Off, and I got to meet Tate, which was one of my favorite contestants. And then there were 3 others in the panel. They were on the current season that was filming, I believe. Wasn't too familiar with them. But Tate was super awesome, super cool guy. And they did a panel. But at that same event in Wizard World, Chicago, Tobin Bell, Jigsaw himself was there. The first time I met Tobin. We'll get to him later on in this series too, where I actually get an autograph and a picture with him. But this time we just went to a Q&A panel, and he talked about the 800 movies he's been in. Most people just know him for Jigsaw, but he's been in a bunch of movies, so he was kind of walking through those. Then they had a special kind of sneak preview of Eli Roth's new film, well, it was new then, Green Inferno. So Eli Roth and his wife now, I think they were just dating back then, Lorenzo Izzo. They both did a Q&A panel and kind of talked about the film. Again, showed a sneak peek of the film. So we were front row. I think we waited like an hour before it started to get front row. So they were feet away from us. And then after Eli Roth goes out and kind of leaves Lorenzo behind, I think she went out the back. So I run after, get like a selfie with him. He was super cool. Then we met JDF, Jason David Frank, the Green and White Ranger. This was the first time we met him. Again, he'll be on a different part too. We've met him a couple of times now. Got his autograph and picture, but this was the first picture here. We met him. Actually, Josh was in line waiting I forgot who I was getting an autograph for, but he said nobody's in line, because usually JDF, his line is crazy insane, but it was kind of later in the day, so I ran to get in the photo with him and kind of knocked these little line barrier poles. I knocked one of them down. So JDF, when it happened, jumped up and snapped some photos. So that's probably out in the internet somewhere. So that was funny. And then while I was waiting for Bruce Campbell's photo op, you're kind of in this long line. Then there's like a tent. You go in the tent and there's like 5 people waiting to get their photo. So I'm like 3rd out of the 5 in that line getting my photo, and out of nowhere pops into the tent Nathan Fillion. Nathan Fillion, most of you know him from Castle. He was in Firefly, a bunch of stuff. He's in that new show, TV show now, The Rookie, where he's a cop. So he comes in, him and Bruce talk, and then the next person is this father and this little son. And so they get a picture with Bruce and Nathan Fillion. So that was awesome. After, I had to explain who Nathan was, because they had no idea. So that's kind of a bummer that, I would have traded places and got a photo with both of them, but it was cool seeing him, because he said hey to everybody in the tent. So that was neat to see him and Bruce together. Then we went and met the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Kristy Swanson. She was super nice. Actually, we took a picture with me and my brother and her. Then we each took one with her, and when they took mine, I have this annoying habit where my eyes close right when you take the picture. So my eyes were closed during that, so I went back the next morning, and she's like, yeah, let's take another one. Explain the situation. She's like, yeah, let's take another one. So it's super, super nice. Then we met Robert Kirkman, who has created my nightmares. Anything horror he's done. The big thing when we met him then was Tusk, and I do not like Tusk at all. Just thinking about it now gets me freaked out. But he's great at what he does. Special effects and makeup. Then we met Jon Bernthal, who is from The Walking Dead. When the day we met him, they actually broke the news that he was going to play Punisher on Netflix. So that had just broken. He's been in a bunch of stuff now, Baby Driver, Punisher, bunch of stuff. So that was cool meeting him, because we had just been on set, a couple months before, maybe a year before we went here. So that was cool. Then we met Stephanie from Full House. and I think the same day we met Jon, but they were in talks then to do Fuller House. So we got to meet Stephanie, then being a wrestler fan growing up, we were in the WCW camp. When most of our friends were in the WWF camp, well now WWE. But we grew up WCW, and my favorite wrestler in WCW was, of course, Sting. So he was there, got to meet him. He had his Sting paint on, so that was awesome. Our group of friends who are like our brothers, I call us the Wolf Pack, because Sting was one of my favorite wrestlers, and the Wolf Pack, of course, one of my favorite groups. Not, conceptually, not the best group, because it was like a fracture of the NWO, and it was kind of near the end of WCW when it was kind of all crazy, but the kind of the theory of the Wolfpack and the mantra of the Wolfpack is something we carry to this day. So it was cool meeting him. And then Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman from Batman the Animated Series, got him to sign something for me. So that was neat. Batman, one of my all-time favorite shows growing up, still one of my favorites along with Spider-Man. Then got to meet Neil Adams. Neil Adams is a comic book artist, mostly famous and known for the Batman covers that he created. And then this one, maybe a little bit regret meeting him, but that's James O'Barr, the creator of The Crow. Oh, I could vent about this one for a while. So he's at this table. I walked up. I just kind of started watching. Well, I watched the Crow movie growing up with Brandon Lee, and then kind of the tragedy and everything with the film, but then that kind of led me into reading the graphic novels. And so I walk up, I'm like, oh, I gotta get him to sign something. So I walk up, his, I guess, manager or whatever, she tells me what the price is. So I'm like, oh, okay. And he's like, got his head down, drawing a sketch, because he would sell his sketches too, along with artwork. So I pay the lady. She slides the photo I picked, and he doesn't look up, doesn't say thank you, doesn't say, hey, what's your name? Nothing. He's continues to stare down, drawing. He stops drawing for 2 seconds, signs it, and he doesn't sign it on the artwork. He signs it below the artwork where his name already was, kind of a little tag, and then there's like a quote on down. But his name's right here. He signs his signature right by where his name was. I said, well, why did I just spend that money if you're going to sign it right by where your name is listed instead on the actual artwork? So anyway, that was my first, no, my last bad experience, but I've had so many good ones that it's hard to stay on the negative ones because there's few and far between. But that was definitely my first negative one. So then we get to kind of a cool one. Our cousin Kaitlin Savetti. She is a musician. She's got a couple albums released. She kind of lived in, was it Greenville or Nashville? I think it was Nashville. Working on her music. They were filming this movie, The Identical, I feel like it's kind of talking about Elvis, what if Elvis had twins, was a twin. Movie's good, but there's a part early on where they're at a dance. He's at a dance with his buddy Seth Green. So him and his eventual wife, I think, girlfriend here, but they dance, and Seth Green and our cousin Kaitlin dance. So she's in the movie Identical, and she has a couple CDs out too, so that's cool to have a famous cousin. So then we went to later on, the Fox Theater and saw Jamie and Adam from Mythbusters. They did a kind of like a farewell tour show, so that was cool. We were kind of in the back, but they did kind of stay after and talk to people, so that was cool. The show was neat. Then we get to the last kind of group in this first part of celebrities we've met, and that is the AMC Crew. If you're familiar at all with the AMC show, movie talk, the movie show they did, they came to Atlanta, kind of early on when the show had been going for a year or two at this point. So we're all excited. We get tickets. They sell out instantly. We're one of the lucky few to get tickets. We go to Atlanta, and it's inside the mall there in Atlanta, the AMC Theater, of course. So we get there early. We're kind of walking around, and we kind of look down below, and we see this big guy, and of course it's Jon Schnepp. So we run down there. We're talking to Jon Schnepp about when he worked for Cartoon Network with Space Ghost and a couple of different shows. So that was amazing to talk to him about working with Cartoon Network and working on those shows. And then, of course, later on he would work on his own stuff, Metalocalypse and different things. So talking to him, and then Denson comes up, talk to him. Then we take a photo with everybody, and they post it on the website, actually on his Instagram, I believe. Then we met Amy Rose Eisenbach, who is a director now, doing some cool things. And then we meet John Campea, who will meet later along with Dennison when they become Collider. So that was neat to see all of them. Hope you enjoyed kind of going through this journey of celebrities I've met and the stories behind each one. If you like it, hit the like button below. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. It really helps the show keep going and growing. And then, of course, share with a friend. And we will catch you later. Bye.